back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about my labor and delivery story. I actually like watching these videos because even like after having Melina, just to compare my story, and I don't know, I just like watching these videos, so I thought maybe I could share my story and maybe help someone out. So alright, so let's get started. So I had Melina January 26, 2020, so it was before pandemic started. Well, it was before lockdown and all that. So a week prior to her being born, I was bleeding, and I was kind of worried, so I went to the doctor. I went to the hospital, and they told me I was fine and that I could go home. I wasn't dilated, and I was 40 weeks. She was supposed to be due January 17th, but she didn't come out till the 26th. But anyways, so I had an appointment made for that Monday to be induced, but she came a little earlier. Just we went back to the hospital on the Sunday because I started to get contractions around like 5 a.m. So I went to the hospital because I wasn't feeling these contractions before. They were getting stronger, so they let me stay, and they were just gonna induce me that day. And I was already 41 weeks, so then like I got into my room. They hooked me up to all these wires to check Melina's heart rate. They put an IV. So we were just chilling, watching TV. I took naps. My contractions weren't too bad until like 6 p.m. So then the doctor suggested if I wanted to get an epidural. Oh, before my epidural though, they put in an antibiotic into my IV because I tested positive for a bacteria, which is supposedly pretty common in women. But anyway, so that burned my arm, and so on top of having a burning arm, I was, in pain with contractions, and so the doctor asked if I wanted an epidural, and I already told them that I wanted everything they could give me because I did not want to feel that baby come out. Before I got my epidural, I got I was, gonna be induced, so they put like a pill, like a tablet. It was called Pitocin, I believe, and they put it in my cervix, and it only opened like 3 centimeters, and that was like throughout the day. She said that she was going to also break my water, and when she told me that she was going to break my water, I was only like 4 centimeters, maybe even 3 centimeters at that point dilated. So I don't understand why she broke my water, but anyway, so before she broke my water, I got an anesthesiologist to come in and do the epidural. I was so scared. I didn't know what to expect. They had me sit up, and I was, hugging Joe, and behind me the anesthesiologist was doing his thing. But it wasn't too bad. I felt like a sting, but overall it wasn't bad at all. And then like later on, like a few months later, Joe was like, wow, that didn't hurt, that was a big needle. I'm like, got the epidural, and like moments later the doctor she broke my water, and I got like really high contractions. Like I was like looking at the screen, but I obviously didn't feel anything because it worked right away. Mind you, I was very confused why she had broke my water. Like Joe and I were confused, but we didn't ask, just because she said that it would speed up the process like of dilating, but it didn't do anything. In fact, it was bad because Melina's heart rate was going down. So, and Joe was great. He was there throughout the whole thing. He was by my side holding my hand, or like if I needed to hug him while I was getting the epidural, he was there. And he got me like anything that I needed, just trying to make me feel comfortable. So That really helped a lot. So like moments after the doctor broke my water, doctors were getting concerned about Melina's heart rate. It was decreasing. They were readjusting me, readjusting the monitor around my belly to read Melina's heart rate, and they were getting worried because it was dropping. And like the doctor that broke my water, I did not like her. She like came in and she was like, again, readjusting it, and she's like, oh, you know, I'll come back later to check on you again. And like not even a minute later, a whole bunch of doctors came in and they freaked me out because they were like, okay, like we need to do a C-section now. And I was like, what? And you know, they like flipped me on all fours, and you know, I don't know why, but they just flipped me on all fours. And my mom and Joe's grandmother were there, so they saw the whole thing. I was just freaking out because it was just a whole bunch of doctors in my room, and they were like, oh, we can't, like Melina's heart rate is decreasing rapidly, so we need to get her out now. So here I was like freaking out. I was like crying, and you know, Joe had to leave to go get suited up, and they took me into the OR. I'm freaking out, crying, and I was like shaking. And you get into this room and it's just all white, super lit. They gave me like this sugary liquid to drink so I could so I wouldn't throw up. So there I am laying down, and the doctors, nurses, and the anesthesiologist were trying to calm me down, saying all these nice positive things. I was just crying hysterically. I was freaking out. I was panicking. I just couldn't handle it. Maybe like 10 minutes later, Joe walks in. He's all suited up, and I felt a little better, but I was really having a hard time. So I could feel these pokes and pressure and pulls, and I was just panicking so bad that my blood pressure spiked up, and I'm pretty sure I was screaming. I was just hysterical. And Joe was also freaking out because he thought that the doctors weren't doing enough for me. Like I didn't know if I needed more you know, like the anesthesia, or I don't know. It was just awful because I felt like I could feel everything. Eventually, at that point, the anesthesiologist like put this really powerful drug in my IV, and I like instantly just went to a whole nother universe. Like I wasn't even there the whole time. Like I just started seeing like the kaleidoscope, like, you know, when you look into the kaleidoscope, like that's what I saw. Like I saw a bunch of colors, and like I was gone. Like I blacked out. I blacked out, and I didn't know what was going on. And apparently, while, you know, I was just not there, I mean, I was still awake because Joe said I was still, you know, awake. So who knows after how long I woke up, and I was just so confused. I was asking like, oh, is she out? Is she out? Like, you know, what happened? And Joe was like, yeah, she's out. And it was kind of funny because he told me, like, he showed me pictures of like all three of us that the nurse took when Melina was born, and I don't remember any of it because, you know, I was gone. So I got to see her for a little bit, briefly, and they took her away so she can get her cleaned up, and then like Joe left to be with her so he can hold her. My family got to see her through like a window while Joe was holding her, and I was just getting stitched up, and yeah, I mean, I was fine after that. I didn't feel anything. I was calm, finally. So then they like wheeled me into a recovery room, and like she was born at the baby place in St. Petersburg. They have this button when like you're like they're wheeling you into your room that makes like little lullaby music. So every time somebody pushes that button, it means that, you know, a new baby was born. Just so cute. Well, anyway, so while I was in the recovery room, I finally got to hold Melina and like really look at her, and I got to breastfeed for the first time. And she latched on. They had me there for an hour so to check on my blood pressure, because again I was freaking out. Then I got wheeled into my room after an hour, and they took Melina because, you know, because her heart rate was dropping immensely while she was inside of me. They kept her in there for the whole night just to check on her. I got to sleep, and I was in so much pain. The doctor would come in like every hour to check on my incision, push on my stomach and all that. So it was tough. It was really tough that first night. And then like every 4 hours, I think it was, they would give me Percocet to relieve the pain, and then like ibuprofen to, you know, for the inflammation to go down. And that Percocet it's pretty strong. So yeah, while I was there and recovering, they inserted a catheter. Well, they started the catheter when I got my epidural, which sucked. I mean, it wasn't that bad. It just kept sucking like every liquid that I had in my body. So, but anyways, overall, you know, it was smooth. I got to shower in there, but the shower sucked. Just using the bathroom, I was in so much pain. So the medication definitely helped. It alleviated my pain, but then I was so loopy. Oh, also I got like really shaky. I started shivering. I was just like freezing. I don't know what was going on. And apparently that happens like after you have the epidural. Like I'm not sure. The nurse didn't really tell me like what was going on. I was just shaking. Okay, I'm back. My phone died, and then I had to go feed Melina, and yeah, so anyways, it got dark, so now I'm in a different position and my light is on. Well, anyways, so the last thing I said was I was talking about recovery. So everything was okay. I got to shower, I got to eat, I got to, you know, everything. And while they basically just took care of Melina, because they were just checking her heart rate a lot. She actually had a monitor on her for like the 3 days that we were there, just so they could check on her heart rate, make sure everything was fine. Also, I forgot to mention that after I was taking the Percocet for like maybe 2 weeks, I stopped, and I was itchy all over my body. I got like these little bumps, and that's just like a heads up, because I feel like that's what made me like just super itchy all over my body, and it was just awful. And oh, and about the shakes, like I just got really shaky, like I was shivering. I read that was because of the epidural. Again, nobody told me anything about that. Like the nurse came in and she gave me like warm blankets, but she never really explained to me like why that happened, and I never asked either, so I guess that was my fault. But yeah, so it sucks giving birth, especially if it's a C-section. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I think they all suck. I was so afraid when I got pregnant. When I found out I was pregnant, I was like, oh my gosh, how is this baby gonna come out? I mean, obviously we know how it's gonna come out, but I was freaking out about the whole like going into labor process. Everyone's different. Everyone has different experiences. People were giving me advice like, oh, eat dates because the baby will just slide out of you, or, you know, walk a lot and all that. But I mean, I was freaking out. I mean, since I found out I was pregnant, I just didn't want to go through the actual delivery part. But here I am, 1 year later. Everything's fine. And the staff and the doctors were great, except for that one lady who broke my water. I mean, I guess she was trying to speed up the process of my cervix opening, but she was just, I don't know, something about her I did not like. So that was sad. It was scary to, you know, the whole experience was actually really scary. And but that's just my experience, you know. I honestly just hated everything about it. I obviously love that, you know, I have my daughter now. I had to live with my mom for like a month or so because, you know, she would like look after Melina while I was just, you know, recovering. But, you know, that's just my experience. Obviously, with other people, it might be different, but I was freaking out the whole time. Like, I mean, up until like when the doctor broke my water, that's when it just went down. And unfortunately, I am traumatized by it because I don't think we're gonna have another kid. I mean, who knows? Maybe we will, but at least I'll know what to expect, you know. But for now, I'm saying no more kids. I don't know if this would help anyone. I just wanted to share my experience. It's been a year. Everything's fine. I feel fine. Melina's doing great. Joe actually, just the other day, he said like, oh, I thought Melina would always have heart problems after that, but nope. Everything's perfect. After like 3 days we left the hospital, they took the monitor off of her and she was perfect. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was interesting. I know I'm kind of like monotoned sometimes, but I'm just getting used to, you know, being in front of the camera. So yeah, bye.